So again, this is the front cover. I did pop everything up on varying levels of chipboard, as well as use both of the paper collections I will go over with in just a few minutes for you. My inside covers here are left blank, my front and my back cover here. My back cover here as well. I'm not going to go through the pages. These pages are the Project Life by Stampin' Up. They are the medium-sized pages. I've had this portion of the album done for a while. However, I just have never actually had a cover attached to it. So I will go through how to cut your chipboard, that kind of stuff, make your covers. Sorry for the barking in the background. And I'm going to show you guys the back. This is the back. Again, I apologize for the barking. With everybody home and people are walking outside and my dog just loves to bark. So these little charms here, the fleur-de-lis, there's a little drop charm, as well as this camera were found in my stash. And then these scrap pieces here were just added at the side. So I hope you guys enjoy, and well, let's get started. All right, so let's go over some of the materials that I used for this project. First and foremost, we are going to need a couple of various tools here. We have the basics, paper piercer just in case, pair of scissors, a ruler of your choice, pencil is always good. I used 3 types of like score tape or red line tape. Those also work, by the way. I used the 1" by Bazic, B-A-Z-I-C products. Really great score tape, love it. I used 1/4" score tape and I used 1/8" score tape. Again, if you don't have all the different sizes, that's okay, but I used those. Now, if you have another method of liking to adhere your chipboard to your cardstock, go ahead and use it. I also used what is called a perfect trim ruler. Now, this is really great. It has various sizes of chipboard on it, so you can line it up, make a line, cut it. I'll show you guys how it works in just a minute. If this is not available to you, you can use a ruler of your choice or another method to cover your chipboard. I will cover that in just a few minutes, but I did use the perfect trim ruler. Okay, you're going to need a set of Project Life pages. My pages are 6 7/8 by 8 3/8. This little tab here is 5/8 of an inch. These are Project Life by Stampin' Up. This is 1 pack of their medium. Now, I'm probably going to add 2 or 3 extra packs to this, just so everybody is aware. Oh, I forgot to pull one of these off. I do not remember the name of the Project Life kit that made up the background pieces to all of mine. I am sorry. I don't even have that booklet anymore. Now, I'm also going to be using 2 rings like that you buy in the office supply store. These are 1.5 inches. If you are not using as many pages or you don't want it to be expandable like mine, go ahead and use a smaller ring. It's up to you. The lovely paper stacks that I'm going to be using today. So this one is the 6x6 Stowaway Pad by Quick Quotes Scrapbook Company. Whew, say that really fast. I used a couple of sayings out of this, or I will be using a couple of sayings out of that. Then I used 2 paper packs. The first one is Summer Adventure Collection Kit by Echo Park. Now, I didn't use a whole lot of this for the covers, as you guys will see, which is what we're going through today, but I did use this cutout here of the anchor, and then I will be using a lot more of this when I do the rest of the pages. Now, the other one that is my predominant is Ahoy There, and it's by Cartabella. I used a lot more of this. This was the paper I used for the front and back covers, and then also I used quite a few of the stickers and things like that to create some of the decorations. And lastly, well, second to last, you will need chipboard. All right, so you'll need probably 2 pieces of 12 by 12 chipboard or chipboard to fit your size. And then also, you're gonna need a couple of bits and pieces. So I just have leftover ribbons and things that I hope will actually match. I have a couple of charms and things like that that I pulled out of my stash, unfortunately. And then I'm gonna use silver brads in order to reinforce my punched holes. What am I going to use to punch my holes? I am using the Crocodile. It's a Crocodile 2, but if you guys don't have this, there's a handheld version or any punch that will go through your chipboard, okay? If you do not have chipboard, your foam board, heavy duty foam board would also work. However, you might need to adjust your dimensions just a little bit to account for the added width. All right, so first and foremost, again, I told you our pages, I'll pull that back in real quick. Our pages are actually 6 7/8 by 8 3/8. So I wanted to make my covers a little bit larger. And, oh, before I forgot, scoreboard. You will need a scoreboard. Not a requirement, but it's a preferred method that I use. If you guys are, again, looking for any of the items that I'm using, check out the description box below. They will be listed there. Okay, trying again here. Sorry about that. Back to the chipboard. You will need a piece of chipboard that is 8 inches wide by 9 inches tall. I like my covers to be definitely larger than my pages. I don't want to have any problems with my pages poking out the, the sides. Not so much the top and bottom am I worried about as I am the sides. Now, to save time, I went ahead and pre-adhesived the back. So I went ahead and pre-adhesived everything here. Again, saving time. Then you're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock. And the first piece, which is going to be your outside cover piece, so the piece that you're going to see, so it's going to go like this. I needed one piece that was 9 by 10 inches. I do 1 inch larger than my chipboard piece. Okay, so 9 by 10, there we go. Then you're going to need a second piece for the inside of your cover. And I did this one at 7 3/8 of an inch, or 7 7/8. Wow, where did that come from? 7 7/8 by 8 7/8. I do 1 inch shorter, or 1/8 of an inch shorter. You can go to 1/4 of an inch. I don't suggest it. That's not my preferred method, but you guys can do it if you so choose. Okay. Now, again, I pre-adhesived the back of both of these just to save us some time. But grab your scoreboard here. And I'm going to give us a couple of quick guidelines that we're going to put in here. Now, if you don't see the bottom of my scoreboard, please do not be concerned. It's not that big of a deal. So here we go. Now, I would strongly suggest on your scoreboard doing a light score line at 1/2 inch. And again, you're going to do this on 2 sides. Oh, sorry, I never told you this. Do this on 2 sides. So with your 10 inch side at the top, 1/2 inch, rotate 90 degrees until your 9 inch side is at the top. And again, 1/2 inch. Actually, I want to flip this over. I forgot. 1/2 inch. Sorry, your paper should be facing up, guys. Paper facing up. 1/2 inch, rotate 90 degrees, stay in place, 1/2 inch. Okay. Now, at this point is when I run the adhesive along my edges of this. And the reason why I do that is before I cut anything off for to cover my chipboard with, is so that I don't miss anything. I want to make sure that my adhesive goes from edge to edge. Okay. Now that little half inch score line, you guys can see it better on this side of the paper. I go ahead and I kind of fold that up, so especially since my back here is a very dark navy color. Now that 1/2 inch score line and that 1/2 inch score line, those are just a guide, okay? I'm gonna come in here with my pre-adhesived cover. I'm gonna remove the adhesive backing. Now, I always, once I add my score tape and things, not sure where my bone folder wound up. There it is. I do run my bone folder across everything, just to make sure that it's stuck down right. or adequately. For example, that little 1-inch piece right here, I covered the entire back. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to get down. Pull off all your adhesive. So now that I have everything off, with adhesive side down and using your 1/2-inch score lines as a guide as to where it goes, I'm going to lay my chipboard along those score lines. Gently, and then press down. Again, I use my bone folder, run it over. All right, now that that's done, I'm going to take, actually, I'm going to take my chipboard and I'm going to use it to create creases all the way around. Again, I'm just bending this up nice and tight. You guys will notice I have not pulled off any adhesive. I have not cut anything off yet. I then go back with my bone folder, fold it over, pencil out of the way, and just run my bone folder all the way around. I want to make nice crisp edges. Again, fold it over, nice and tight, nice crisp edges. If you do this now before your tape is off, you can adjust a little bit easier when your tape is off. Okay, to make it a little bit easier later on for you. Now, to use the perfect trim ruler, you figure out exactly how thick your chipboard is. My chipboard is 0.125, so 1/16 of an inch approximately. And you guys might not be able to see this. I'm going to use my paper piercer as a pointer here. But there's these little lines that create this corner here. I'm going to line up that tip of that corner with the tip of mine. Alrighty, there we go. I'm going to use a pencil and draw a line. Doesn't have to be a great line. Just kind of draw a line that I know. I'm going to do that on all 4 corners. All right, so this is my last corner here. I'm going to draw a line on. And again, I just line it up. Now, if you do not have a perfect trim ruler, you can use your actual ruler, measure out so much of an inch, however thick your chipboard is, lay it down, make a mark across your corner there, draw a line, snip it off. Or, as we're covering, you can just fold one side, make sure adhesive goes all the way to the end, add a little more adhesive, and then fold the other side. I like this method. It reduces the bulk in my corners. So this is why I do the method that I'm doing. Now, after your line, take your scissors, find it, and trim it off. Do that to all 4 corners. Just, again, find your line, your pencil mark, take it, and trim it off. All right, so now if you are choosing to use the same method I am, and you've trimmed off your corner edges, this is what yours is going to look like. Now for me, I actually do the top and the bottom edges first. You can choose to do the side edges first, that's up to you. Me personally, I do the top and bottom. I don't know why, I think it's just habit. So I'm going to remove the adhesive backing. I'm going to pull it up nice and tight, stick it down again from the center, and again curling from the outside in. There we go. And again, all the way back. Now at this point in time, you've got a smidgen of an overhang here in the corner and here in the corner. Go ahead and use your bone folder, push that little corner in and down. Okay, I mean, we are talking, it is a minute little corner, okay? You guys can see, like, there's very little, I don't even know if that's coming through all right, but it's very little. Again, just use your bone folder, tuck it in. Repeat on the other side. Now for your last two sides, your long sides, your main sides, however you guys want to call it. Pull off my adhesive backing. Pull it up. Stick it down in the center. Now I do run over this really nice and tight, my corners. Okay. Repeat on the other side here. All right, so here is the front cover of your book. You guys find, like I did, I like to run my bone folder over my edges, and it gives me a nice squared off edge look. And again, I just run it along the edge of my chipboard there. And there we go. Nice, beautifully finished edge. If your paper is directional, make sure you cut your paper correctly. Mine is not so directional, but in case yours is, please be careful. So let's go ahead and put on the inside of the front cover. This is not so bad. Again, I pre-adhesived this, and I'm going to remove the adhesive and be right back, or the tops. Okay, now that all of the top of the adhesive is removed, I'm going to get ready to stick it down. Now this is 7/8 of an inch, so be very careful as you are attaching it. And just line it up nice and even. Hi, sorry about that. So as I was saying, once you have it down, take your bone folder, run it over the top of your inside of your cover, as well as the outside of your cover. All right, there you go. So that is your cover. I do have a small pencil mark here that I'm going to erase. There we go. I'll get a better eraser in a minute. So that is your cover. Now, the question of how do you... Hey everyone, sorry about that. I had a little bit of camera problems, and by the time I realized, basically I'd finished doing what I need to show you. So I'm going to show you guys with this little piece of scrap chipboard that I have here. Pretend this is your cover and it is fully 8 by 9 inches tall. This piece here is 9 inches tall, and it's fully covered, just so you guys are aware. But please pretend. So how you guys are going to mark where you want to put your eyelets, and for today's demonstration, I'm going to be using black, even though on my actual album they are silver. I'm going to show you how I did it. So I took the very edge of my page here, my Project Life page, lined it up with the edge of my chipboard, kind of squared it up on both bottom and top, found the very center of that opening there for your O-ring, and just put a pencil mark. So I just used a pencil, and again, I eyeballed this. If you really wish to, you can go through and actually measure it out. I found that eyeballing for me actually works better than measuring. Then you're going to grab in your crocodile. Now, if you have another hole punching system, go ahead and use that as well for your eyelets. But this is the way I do mine. And again, I set mine to 3/16. Come in here, line it up just so, punch my holes. I am so sorry for the extra noise. Okay, sorry about that. And again, come in here, line it up with your little dot, come in, punch your hole. So you wind up with something that looks like this. And again, your chipboard is fully covered at this point in time. So I'm then going to take my eyelets, I'm going to set them in there, And I have my second one here. And again, I used black for demonstration purposes. There it goes. Bring my Crocodile back in. I'm going to set it to my eyelet setter. I believe the Crocodile also does things like snaps and a few other things, but I predominantly use it for eyelets. And again, line those up and set your eyelets. Okay, so creating eyelet holes are that simple. Once you have, in order to do your second piece, and you already have your first ones already done, I say just lay one on top of the other, put a pencil mark, and repeat the process. It is the fastest way to do that. So there we go. Okay, so once I had my eyelets holes punched in my cover as well as my eyelets set, I went ahead and I finished decorating my cover. I did pull these pieces from the paper packs that I showed you earlier. I did cut them out. I added stickers. I mounted them on chipboard, and then I attached them to the top of my cover here. I then went through and fed my back cover, my pages, and my front cover through my binder rings here, as well as added some tulle to those binder rings just to make them look a little less utilitarian. I also added this nice charm piece here. I've got a camera, a crystal of some kind, a little fleur-de-lis. These were just charms out of my stash. I'm sorry, I don't know where they came from. But I think this piece here is a Tim Holtz piece, but don't quote me on that either. So this is the front cover. Again, my inside cover looks just like what you guys saw. If you wanted to, you could add a pocket here. You could add a waterfall if you have a lot of extra photos. You can do actually a full photo layout here as well if you would like. Then you would add all your pages. And again, you can do the same thing on the back. If you wanted to add a full photo layout, if you wanted to add a pocket, just to put memorabilia and things like that in there. You could do waterfalls. You could, whatever you wanted on the back cover, inside cover as well. On the back cover here, I did add just 2 cutout sayings that I mounted on some white cardstock until the next adventure, because that's kind of how I feel. So there we go. So that is the end of my chipboard cover tutorial for Project Life pages. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, go ahead and click that subscribe button down there. And until next time, this is Mel from Cardstock Concoctions saying thanks a lot and see you later. Bye.